When it comes to shooters, you need to make sure you're on your A game, and that starts with your console. Here's how to get your Xbox Series X into fighting shape. First off, you'll find that most shooters have an in-game settings menu where you can tinker with a bunch of things, and this makes for a pretty good place to start. Games like Call of Duty, Halo Infinite, and Fortnite allow players to customize their stick sensitivity and dead zones in a really granular way, allowing them to really fine-tune the way the game's guns handle. By the way, dead zones are the areas of your L and R stick movement that the game will ignore, so the lower this is, the more reactive your sticks will be. So if you want your aim to be sharper, have these as low as possible, but how low this is can depend on your controller. It's worth experimenting with these settings until you find the levels that work for you. The perfect balance will keep things loose enough for you to whip round quickly if an enemy creeps up on you, while still providing enough control for you to really nail those headshots. Okay, now let's look into your console settings menu. The Xbox Series X and S comes locked and loaded with some truly stunning visuals, but if you head into the TV and displays options section, you might find one or two things that can give you even more graphical firepower. There are options for both the resolution and the refresh rate, and obviously these will be dependent on the TV or monitor that you're using. One thing I would say, and this goes for games which let you pick between different graphical options too, is that you should always prioritize frame rates for FPS games. Particularly in competitive multiplayer games, you'll find that smoother frame rate is a literal lifesaver when things get truly frantic. Button mapping is another thing that many shooters allow you to customize in-game, either by picking between a selection of preset configurations or by building your own custom one. Again, this is an area where personal preference is going to be a big factor, but the important thing is to find a setup where you can comfortably perform all of the more urgent actions without missing a beat. The fastest trigger finger in the world won't do you much good if you still can't reach the button you need. Benny spoke about this in our video about COD specifically, but one tip we like to do is swap the melee and crouch buttons in games that allow you to do both, or just bind crouch to clicking the right stick in. This way you can make emergency dives while aiming and your right thumb doesn't need to leave the stick to do so. And if you play a lot of shooters, it might also be worth going into the Xbox Accessories app and building your own custom configuration specifically for the genre. There you're able to freely remap all of the gamepad's inputs and then save the whole setup to really enhance your muscle memory. And it's easy to switch in and out of when you're playing other games too. Okay, now picture the scene. You've got your hands on your favorite sniper rifle and staked out the perfect spot, patiently waiting for an enemy to wander into view before steadily moving your crosshairs into position, and then BAM! A notification pops up, throws off your concentration, and the chance is gone. Sounds just awful, doesn't it? So you might want to head into the preferences section of your console settings menu so that you can choose which notifications appear and whereabouts on the screen they pop up and how long they stay there for. FPS games throw up all sorts of incredible moments that you'll want to run back after the match. From moments of unbelievable marksmanship to grenade mishaps and have to be seen to believed moments. Your controller's dedicated share button makes it super easy to immortalize these moments, and by fine-tuning your console's capture settings in the preferences menu, you can make the process even smoother. Decide how long to record for, whether to grab what just happened or what's about to, and even the resolution that your clips are recorded in. Pretty soon you'll have your very own highlights reel to reminisce over. Lastly, let's talk about hardware. With an Xbox Series X or S console, you've made a pretty amazing start, but it's possible to upgrade your experience even further with a few additional bits of kit. For example, the standard Xbox controller is a lovely gamepad, but if you're really getting into the competitive FPS scene, then you might find the adjustable thumbsticks, incredible response times, and extra buttons of the Elite series a worthy investment. But really great FPS gamers don't just play with their thumbs, they also rely on their eyes and their ears. Slap a quality headset on like the Xbox wireless one, and you'll be able to take full advantage of the Xbox Series X and S's spatial sound technology. Not only does this make for an enjoyably immersive experience, but it makes it easier to pinpoint where each sound is coming from. So your opponents will find it a lot harder to sneak up on you. With these trusty tips and tricks in your arsenal, you'll be shooting straight to the top of the FPS world. See you there!